The sun has not yet appeared beyond the hills. Yet the day has already begun for everyone, but not the same. Behind the stone walls, the lord of the castle opens his eyes. A servant has already lit the fireplace. The water to wash is ready. The day's meetings will soon begin. The decisions taken by that room will change the lives of hundreds of people. At the same time, nobody sleeps in the kitchens anymore. A young servant kneads the bread in the threshing light of the fire. His hands move fast. That bread will come to the gentleman's table, but she probably won't even taste a piece. On the walls, a guard tightens the cloak. He spent all night watching the horizon. He's not looking for an army. Sometimes a column of smoke is enough, or an unknown knight. In the Middle Ages, the danger could come without notice. Outside the castle, long before the door is opened, a farmer is already in the fields. The land is hard. Hands are cold. If the harvest is poor, he will not only suffer his family, the castle will also have less bread. 4 people, 4 lives, same sun, same day. Yet each of them believes that their work is the most important. Maybe they're all right. With the rising of the sun, the castle comes alive. There's no noise. There are hundreds of them. Steps, dry, hammers, animals, voices. Everything starts moving. The gentleman crosses the courtyard. Every person bows to his passage. He will soon receive the factor. You'll have to know how much grain was collected, how many hens are born, and if the supplies are enough for the winter. Bad decision today could mean hunger in a few months. In the kitchens, the maid continues to work. The bread is ready. Now we have to prepare the broth, clean the vegetables, turn on another hearth. Tens live in the castle, sometimes hundreds of people. Every meal takes hours of work. On the road around, the guard observes the drawbridge slowly down. The first tanks are coming. Merchants, artisans, farmers. Every unknown face is carefully observed. Peace can end in one moment. Among those wagons, there's a load of grain bags. He's the farmer. She worked for weeks. Now deliver part of the crop to the castle. It's not a choice. It is the price of protection received by the gentleman. The guard opens the door. The wagon comes in. The servant waits for that grain. The lord will discuss his fate. 4 people. 4 different jobs, but just one stop, because all the castle starts to slow down. When the sun is now high, the castle only slows in appearance. Behind the walls is about to begin the most important moment of the day. The board. The gentleman takes place in the big hall. In front of him there are maps, registers, accounts, bags of coins. He doesn't just decide where to spend money, decides how much wood to store, how much grain to distribute, how many men are sending to repair the bridge. Each choice can change the fate of the entire fief. Outside the hall, the guard remains standing in front of the door. No one comes in without permission. Messengers, merchants, pilgrims. Everyone has to wait. For many people, just a few minutes late to lose a whole day of work. In the kitchens, the servant knows nothing of what is being decided, but he'll understand soon. If guests arrive today, we'll have to prepare twice the food. If the crop was poor, every loaf should be enough for longer. You don't listen to the advice. The consequences of this. In the village, the farmer slowly returns home. The wagon is almost empty. Part of the crop will remain in the castle. In return, the walls will protect the village. At least, this is the promise. It is curious. The gentleman doesn't know the name of the farmer. The farmer will probably never see the face of the gentleman close. Yet, the life of one depends on the other, more than they both imagine. The sun is high. For many, this is the most tiring part of the day. For the castle is the time when everything has to work perfectly. The gentleman walks through the courtyard. He stops in front of the masons. See a crack on the tower. A wall doesn't just protect those who live inside. It also protects the fields, the collected, and the families that depend on that castle. Every stone out of place, it could become a danger. Not far. The guard controls who comes in and who comes out. A blacksmith comes with new spearheads. A trash dealer. 2 pilgrims ask for hospitality. Each person tells a different story, but no one crosses that door without being observed. The freshly baked bread smells out of the kitchens. The maid and the other cooks fill large wooden tables. Soups, cheese, verdure, meat, when available. Making lunch doesn't mean cooking for a family. It means to feed a small world. In the meantime, the farmer returned to the camps. The wagon is empty. The fatigue, however, remained. In a few weeks there will be another harvest, and then another, the work of the earth. He doesn't know, pauses. It is curious to observe this castle from above. The gentleman thinks about security. The guard thinks of the dangers. The maid thinks about the next meal. The farmer thinks about the next harvest. 4 people, 4 concerns. But one place that continues to live thanks to the work of all. The afternoon runs like so many others. The blacksmith continues to beat the iron. The smell of bread comes from the kitchens. In the fields, the peasants work without stopping. Then, something changes. A guard on the walls sees a figure approaching the gallop. A horse. 1 horse. The knight doesn't slow down. Put your arm up. He's asking to come in. The drawbridge is down. The messenger crosses the courtyard covered with dust. He traveled for hours, maybe for days. People stop their work. Even silence seems to wait for his words. A few moments after, Lord listens to the report in the woods north. Armed men were spotted. Maybe brigands, maybe mercenaries. No one knows for sure. But in the Middle Ages, even a simple suspicion could be enough to change a day. On the walls, the guard receives new orders. Check out every walker. Observe the paths. Prepare bows and spears. The tranquility of the morning, it's already a memory. In the kitchens, the maid doesn't know the details, but he sees men running, hear orders. So add more wood to the fire. Fill the water jugs. Prepare more bread than expected. If a siege is really coming, every loaf could make a difference. Meanwhile, the farmer keeps working. He didn't hear the messenger. You don't know the Lord's orders. He knows only one thing. Before sunset, he wants to be safe behind those walls. In the Middle Ages, fear did not begin when the enemy appeared. It started when no one knew where he was. The Lord observes the wood from the highest tower. He doesn't see knights. He doesn't see smoke. That's just to worry him. An invisible enemy is the most difficult to deal with. Order to keep the drawbridge ready. If necessary, must be lifted in a few moments. On the walls, the guard never looks away. Every movement between the trees seems suspicious. A deer, a crow, the wind in the bushes. For a moment, everything might seem like an ambush. In the kitchens, the maid keeps filling baskets. Bread, cheese, water spades. If the castle were to close the gates, no one would know how long it could be before reopening them. Every stock counts. Every mistake. It could cost expensive. In the fields, the farmer looks at the sun. It's lower than you want. Leave the job. Load the latest gear on the wagon. If the drawbridge rose before its arrival, should spend the night outside the walls. And outside, the night belongs to those who are armed. The castle holds its breath. The gentleman is waiting for news. The guard looks at the horizon. The servant prepares what might serve. The farmer speeds up. No one's seen the enemy yet. Yet, everyone is already fighting against the same fear. The sun is disappearing behind the hills. In the Middle Ages, this is the most delicate moment of the day. Light decreases, shadows stretch. And outside the walls, every minute counts. The Lord watches the sky from the tower. No more messengers have arrived. No one confirmed the presence of the brigands, but nobody. She didn't even deny it. Caution is the most precious weapon of those who govern. The guard receives a simple order. When the sun touches the horizon, the drawbridge must be lifted, without exception, even if someone arrives a few moments later. In the Middle Ages, Hesitation could mean condemning the entire castle. A farmer is still on the road. The wheels of the wagon spring between the stones. The oxen slowly progress. Too slowly. In front of him, he sees the walls, but he also sees men starting to prepare the chains of the drawbridge. Every step never seems to be enough. From the kitchens, the servant hears the sound of the bell. You know what that means. The doors will be closed soon. Who's inside? He'll be safe. Who's out? He's gonna have to get away with it. The guard recognizes the farmer. Put your hand up. Nod to hurry. The oxen advance. The tire wheels. The wagon crosses the bridge. Just as the chains begin to pull, the wood is slowly rising. Then, silence. Only the forest remains outside the walls. And darkness. The drawbridge is lifted. Large oak doors are closed. For tonight, the castle is safe, or at least, so they all hope. The gentleman looks at the courtyard one last time from the window. The brigands didn't come. Maybe they changed their way. Maybe they were never headed here. But this does not make the precautions taken during the day useless. In the Middle Ages, one mistake could cost hundreds of lives. On the walls, the guard takes his place. The shift starts again. The torches just illuminate the road. Beyond the light, there's only darkness and the noise of the wind. In the kitchens, the maid slowly turns off the focolare. The last pots are cleaned. The remaining bread is carefully preserved. Tomorrow, the day will start again before dawn. Work never ends. In the village, the peasant is finally with his family. The door of the house is closed. Dinner is simple. Some bread, some vegetables. Maybe a piece of cheese. It's not a banquet, but tonight they're all together, and that's enough. Is curious. The brigands never knocked at that door. Yet, they changed everyone's day. The gentleman, the guard, the maid, the farmer. Sometimes the greatest fear is not what you see. That's what makes everyone ready. The night is now silent. Torches slowly consume the last drops of oil. The wind caresses the stone walls. Tomorrow, everything will start again. Looking at a castle today, it's easy to think about the knights. Arms. To great battles. But the truth was very different. Most days, no war was fought. The real challenge was to make everything work. The Lord ruled. But without the harvest, he wouldn't have had anything to administer. The guard protected the walls. But without people inside, those walls would have had no value. The maid prepared every meal. But without the work of the fields, the ovens would be empty. The farmer cultivated the land, but without the castle, would have had much less protection in times of danger. 4 people, 4 lives, 4 fates, apparently far away, yet linked by the same day, the same bread, from the same walls. Medieval castles were not only symbols of power, they were miniature cities, places where each person had a task. And where the work of he allowed everyone else to move on. Next time you visit a castle, try not to just look at the towers. Imagine the noise of hammers, the smell of bread, the guard steps, the hands of the farmers. Because the story of a castle, it doesn't belong to one man. It belongs to all those that every day gave him life. The story you just heard is a narrative story. The 4 protagonists are fictional characters, but their daily life was rebuilt, using historical and archaeological studies dedicated to medieval castles and European feudal society. The times of the day, the organization of the castle, the role of the lord, of the guards, of the servants, and peasants are based on the historical knowledge available for the European Middle Ages, particularly between the 12th and 14th centuries. The messenger and the possible danger of brigands are a narrative expedient. They were inserted to show how a castle should always be ready to react to the threats of the time, but they do not represent a historical episode really happened. Knowing the past also means imagining how could be the life of ordinary people, because history does not belong only to the great kings or great battles, but also to those who needed bread. He was watching over the walls. or worked the earth every day. Main sources: Francis Guise and Joseph Guise, Life in a Medieval Castle, Harper Perennial. Christopher Gravett, Castle, History of the Buildings That Shaped Medieval Britain, Osprey Publishing. Mark Morris, Castle, A History of the Buildings That Shaped Medieval Britain, Windmill Books. Norman Pounds, The Medieval Castle in England and Wales, Cambridge University Press. Jean Gimple, The Medieval Machine, The Industrial Revolution of the Middle Ages, Penguin Books. British Museum, Collections and Insights into Everyday Life in the Middle Ages. English Heritage, Historical Documentation on Medieval English Castles. UNESCO World Heritage Center, Documentation on Medieval Castles and European Fortified Heritage. Note: history is a work of narrative dissemination. The protagonists, the dialogues, and the specific events are of fantasy, while the environments, the daily activities, and the historical context have been reconstructed on the basis of the above sources.